Into the studio.
Yeah, coming to VTV and then to...
45 seconds. Or 15 seconds.
Hey guys, just reminding you, I'm queuing you, we're not too far away.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Roll and
5,
take.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Tonight on Metro News. Tourism operators wait to find out when the Victoria bubble will reopen. We visit the tactics ahead of their big game tomorrow night. And show us your best moves. We're at the New Zealand Dance Awards.
Kia ora, and welcome to Metro News, a program brought to you by the students of the New Zealand Broadcasting School.
Tourism operators will be anxiously waiting to see when visitors from Melbourne can start holidaying here again. A COVID-19 outbreak in Victoria means the travel bubble with that state is on pause, and now won't be reviewed for at least another 5 days. But as reporter Lucy Bendell says, it's still all go with the rest of Australia.
Christchurch has been welcoming Aussies for over a month now, after New Zealand waited more than a year for international tourists. While travel to Victoria is paused, the rest of Australia are happy to be here.
Oh, amazing. Just wonderful to see my grandchild. Oh, it's good. It's great to have the bubble open. It's great to be moving about.
Feels amazing. I haven't been since I was pregnant with her.
Come over to visit our family, our daughter, our son-in-law and our new 9-month-old grandson.
Christchurch's Riverside Market has seen busy days welcoming local and overseas visitors.
During the school holidays it was certainly very busy. At lunchtime you'd go downstairs and there'd be just like a flood of people coming through each of the doors.
According to Stats New Zealand, Christchurch has already had around 4,000 overseas visitors since late April. And for New Zealand, the country has seen over 60,000 people arrive.
It's so good to see the Aussies again. Just like it kind of solidifies that we are moving in the right direction since COVID, and means that we know we're opening our bubbles up to more and more countries. So it is awesome to see them.
And the Riverside Market has seen their best days from it.
Quite a few of our stalls reported to me that it was their busiest day since we've opened, so some of them have done extremely well.
But not all Christchurch businesses are benefiting. Rental campervan companies say they haven't seen a difference.
We haven't seen much change since the bubble opened. Yeah, I would just say we definitely expected to see a little bit more, about 5 to 7 bookings per week that are Australian. Some they tend to come more over the weekend as well, so like Fridays, Saturdays, that's when they arrive.
And now businesses want to see the bubble expanded to other countries. While all eyes are on Victoria to resume travel, the New Zealand and Australian Prime Ministers have confirmed the Pacific is next to join the bubble. Lucy Bendell, Metro News.
A number of Wilson residents badly affected by flooding earlier this week want further action from the council. Over the last few years, work's been done on the Heathcote River, but locals say it isn't enough. Garrett Doppenberg joins us now live to tell us more. Garrett?
The flooding was most obvious in the Woolston area, where water from the river covered properties along Clarendon Terrace. It's been a problem for a while. In fact, we spoke to one man who says he's been flooded 10 times in the last 30 years. The last time was 2017, and although changes have been made, locals say more work is needed. Blue skies here in Woolston, but up and down the Heathcote River, reminders of the weekend's rainfall remain. In Clarendon Terrace, the mood is grim.
I've been flooded, surrounded, about 10 times.
A backyard resembles a pond, even with no rainfall. The owner is surprisingly optimistic.
This is the water that is actually looking pretty good. Yesterday it was still all over the whole back section.
But the anxiety's creeping in.
I do get quite worried. I love the house and I love the community, but is the fear of knowing where you're living unsafe? I don't know.
Clarendon and Richardson Terrace opposite traditionally get the worst of the flooding. Warren Hensley claims little's been done to fix the ongoing problem.
What council? Haven't seen them. I've seen more of you people than them.
He says his calls for action are falling on deaf ears.
So what they seem to be doing is leave it to the homeowner. Their insurance will pay for it.
However, the council responded that it is fixing the flooding issue. The Heathcote River's been dredged, creating a deeper channel, a project that finished last year. 70,000 tonnes of sediment were removed. The worst flood-prone properties were purchased and demolished. They're also building basins to collect rainwater that would otherwise flood areas downstream. In a statement, council say 2 of the basins are finished and there's another 2 to go. Council also says it was a double whammy in Woolston, with the king tide happening at the same time as all the rain, causing water levels to rapidly rise. Overall, council believes that the dredging has worked and improved the river flow.
Thanks, Garrett. After major delays, the new Metro Sports facility is expected to open its doors late next year. As I discovered, a raft of sports will be using it and can't wait for it to be completed. It's all go at the Parakiori Recreation Centre, with big things happening in the coming months.
Completing the roofs and the walls and windows of the building, so that's well underway. As you can see, we've got a lot of the cladding on, but we're still working through that. And once that's on, we can then get right into the internal fit out.
The $300 million projects come with major delays. Its original due date, 2016.
Look, there's always challenges in delivering these really big jobs. It's a big complex building. It's a challenging site where it is, and and obviously had the whole COVID thing mixed in there. So and that's still affecting us as we go.
The delays impact the whole community, with sport in Canterbury affected by every pushback.
Oh, it's hugely disappointing, but it's just the reality of the world we've been working in for the last 10 years. So we've just been advocating as hard as we can for the sector as a whole.
When the Parakiori Recreation and Sports Centre is completed in late 2022, it will be the largest aquatic, indoor recreation and leisure venue of its kind in New Zealand, accessible to people of all ages and abilities. It'll be a hub for sport in Canterbury, with a main court seating capacity for 2,500 spectators. But what else will we find inside?
9 indoor courts, a 50-metre pool and a dive well, and then the whole of high performance and allied health sector provision. So it's going to be the final piece of the jigsaw of our network.
Community focus is at the heart of the design.
The idea is that it'll be able to be a facility that hosts international, regional, local, national events, but also, most importantly, it'll be a facility for the community of Christchurch.
Now, with completion expected to be just 18 months away, things are looking up for sport. Travis Mitchell, Metro News.
Coming up next, the hidden risks of New Zealand's binge drinking culture, and we head down to the Christchurch Arena to visit our very own tactics.
My name is Ella Cook. I'm a television production manager in London. I work for a company called Red House Television. I work on property shows, comedy and entertainment. I worked as the production assistant on New Zealand's Got Talent on Target on What Now. I came to London nearly 4 years ago now. Didn't have any issues finding a job at all. I went to a company called Hat Trick Productions. We won a BAFTA last year, as well as were nominated this year. To even be nominated and go to the awards was something I never ever thought that I would ever do. But then to also win it and go up on the BAFTA stage was just a brilliant feeling. I love living in London. Definitely a big change from living in New Zealand. There's so many people, it's so busy and bustling all the time. I also love being able to just go to the theatre or see something different every night. The professionalism that we are taught at broadcasting school really helps in the wider world. I had my degree on my CV as well as the work experience that I'd gained after my internship. I would never have thought that I'd get this far. It's the best thing that I ever did for my career. There's no way that I would be where I am today without the degree that I have.
Welcome back. The Tactics are currently sitting 5th on the netball table, and after a rough start are building momentum. They've got a home game tomorrow and will be keen to settle an old score. Jessica Dermody is at the Christchurch Arena and joins us now. Jessica.
Everyone here is gearing up for a big game tomorrow night. As netball fans will know, the Tactics are taking on the Pulse in what will be a rematch of last year's grand final. After a tough 1-goal loss against the Northern Stars on Monday, the home side is fired up and ready to go.
The last time the Tactics met the Pulse, it was COVID level 2, and the Pulse were crowned champions. Despite it being round 8 of the ANZ Premiership, the two sides will battle it out for the first time tomorrow night.
Looking forward to it because we've played quite a few games and haven't played them yet, so it's always good just to face another kind of opponent. They are quite different to last year, so not the same players, but they are starting to build some momentum as well, so I think it's going to be a really good game.
The Tactics may be down on the leaderboard, but they're certainly not out, training the house down this week after their loss to the Stars.
Yeah, that was a pretty tough one to swallow at the end there. I think what we learnt was that when we have control of the game and we've got a lead, we need to maintain that lead and not let them back in the game. I think we were up by 8 twice in that game, and yeah, we obviously let them back in, and then we couldn't score in crucial moments towards the end, and we ended up losing it, so yeah.
The loss aside, the Tactics are going strength to strength after a slow start this year, looking to make it 3 from 3 on their home turf. And they've got a few options up their sleeve.
I'm looking forward to playing the Pulse because we haven't played them yet. The last time we played them was in pre-season, and their game's really grown, so is ours, so it'll be good to get a match up against them.
With Ericana Peterson back from injury, the Tactics have 2 on-form wing attacks to choose from.
Simone's come in really strong, and she's filled that spot really well, so we've got really good options now, so just having Ericana come back in, it just provides us with another option to have as well.
The Tactics have done the mahi. Now it's time to get their treats.
When that starting team is named, whoever slots into wing attack will have a big job on their hands. Getting that ball quickly and efficiently into the shooting circle will be essential. And if you're keen to get along to the game, event organisers have just released more tickets. So if you get in quick, you might just get one.
Thanks, Jessica. How much alcohol do you consume in a week? You might be surprised to find out you're over the recommended amount. The figures aren't good, with hundreds of alcohol-related incidents a week. And as Victoria Stevens reports, many people are putting themselves and their health at risk.
Going over the limit can cause alcohol-related injuries that can result in hospitalisation and even death in some cases. A spokesperson for St John says in the month of May they attended to 2,216 alcohol-related incidents, with more than 1,400 of those patients transported to Christchurch Hospital. Dr Sam McBride is warning people of the dangers excess drinking can cause.
People injure themselves when they're intoxicated and can also get acute harms, so vulnerable to pancreatitis and a number of other medical conditions. So yeah, it's a uniquely toxic drug.
Owner of Little High, Oscar Marriott, believes venues have their part to play to make sure alcohol's not abused.
I think it's important because it's not actually about any one person. When people come out to enjoy themselves, it's actually about what's happening for everybody. So we need rules and regulations around how alcohol is served.
The amount of alcohol that people can consume before it starts affecting you is different in men and women. To reduce the long-term health risks on your body, you shouldn't drink more than 2 standard drinks for a woman and 3 standard drinks for a male. On a normal night out, the recommended maximum drinking limit is 5 glasses for men and 4 glasses for women. This means women should not consume more than 10 standard drinks a week and men 15 drinks, with at least 2 alcohol-free days. If you choose to drink, there are a number of ways you can make sure you stay within the low-risk levels. Sam McBride's part of a group working to reduce alcohol harm.
The solutions we know work, include increasing the price of alcohol to make alcohol less available. Reducing marketing and sponsorship of alcohol is another really good option.
A word of advice ahead of the long weekend: keep track of how much you consume, drink slowly, or choose low percentage alcohol. Victoria Stevens, Metro News.
Frankie Mckay is one of Canterbury's most accomplished cricketers on and off the field. The 31-year-old has just been offered a contract with the White Ferns for the first time. She joins us in the studio with reporter Nick Duff.
Thank you for coming in today, Frankie.
Hey, no worries at all.
So just take me through the moment that you got the call when you'd be receiving your first White Ferns contract.
Yeah, it's a pretty special moment, to be fair. I think any time you get some recognition for performances that have gone on, and for me it's probably been a long time coming, and I'd probably got to the stage in my career where I thought I was never going to get one of those contracts. So to get the call from Bob and have a chat to him about some of the things that have been going on and the positives that he saw and where I sat in that contract list, it was a pretty special moment, and yeah, one I'll remember for a long time.
Awesome. It was a massive summer for you with both bat and ball. What do you think the key to your success was?
I think it comes with age a little bit as well. I think I've been around a long time, and you get a really good measure of what you need to do to be successful, and I think it takes a while for athletes to work that out, and I'd probably say I'm at that stage in my career now where I've got it pretty sorted, and it's just about getting into the right frame of mind, getting the body right as well to be able to play at that level, and then just the ability to go out and I guess just express myself, play the style of cricket that I want to play, especially in the Canterbury Magicians setup. It's around a style and a brand of cricket that we're wanting to put forward, and as the captain it's trying to lead that from the front and show that that's how we're going to do things as a group. So yeah, I think that's just allowed me to really go out, put best foot forward and put some good performances on the park.
And you've had a pretty long career already, spanning almost 15 years. Where does this rank for you in terms of accomplishments you've had?
Oh, it's nice, that's for sure. It's probably not the number one. I think that when you first get selected for New Zealand, that's a really special moment, and probably for me the ability to come back from some pretty serious injuries, to force my way back into the side after years and years out of it, is they're the really special moments. And then I've had a lot of success with Canterbury. We've won a lot of titles this year as well. We managed to do the double and win both in one season, and that's the first time we'd done that in the space of 10 years. So those kind of moments, they really stack up, and there's lots of little ones along the way, and now I guess I get a lot of really good feelings out of the way that our younger players are coming through and progressing, and see them develop and grow their games and just grow up as people as well. I think it's really special to have those memories to tuck away too.
Is it extra sweet with the contract, the timing wise, just because the World Cup is being hosted here in New Zealand next summer?
Yeah, that's always a nice carrot to have at the end of a summer, to think that you're going to go through a home summer, play a lot of cricket. There's a couple of tours coming up for that White Fern side as well, and then the chance to play in a home World Cup. I think every cricketer dreams of it, especially every female cricketer. The last time we won a World Cup, it was hosted in New Zealand back in 2000, and I think for me and players my age as well, there's a lot of chatter about how that was the first time we saw women's cricket, the first time we saw these people who would go on to become our heroes, the first time it was on TV for us. So to think how far the game's gone in 20 years, and then to think that possibly we could be the athletes that are inspiring the next generation, the next group of kids, I think that's pretty special to be part of.
Sweet. So you also worked for Spark over the summer in the commentary booth. How did you find that?
Oh, awesome. I've loved my time working with the commentary teams, and I've been lucky enough to work across a few now, and Spark coming on board this season, they've done a fantastic job, and it's again the ability to have cricket on free-to-air TV I think has been huge for the game, and that's pretty cool to be part of. So yeah, to sit in a commentary box alongside some legends of the game, and the fact that some of them were my heroes growing up as well, and to think that it's now my job to sit alongside them, discuss the game, put my point of view across, have a few arguments from time to time with them as well. It's been great fun, and I think it's had a really positive impact on my career as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time, Frankie. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Coming up, how a new partnership is benefiting both students and the community. And we visit the New Zealand Dance Awards to see the country's up-and-coming stars.
My name's Chris Nichol, and I'm head of production for Capital FM Network, doing TV, I'm doing online, I'm doing event audio, and I'm working with a team of 8 people. We make everything, every single sweeper, ident, thing that says what radio station you're listening to, what TV station you're watching. Broadcasting school put me in a scenario where I had to figure things out, hands-on learning, getting stuck in, teaching yourself stuff. It also prepared me for the sorts of people that you come in contact with in media, and how to deal with situations, especially high stressful situations. The great thing was the tutors were really encouraging and really helpful. They were like senior members of staff in a real radio station. Nowhere else will you get hands-on learning that actually lands you in a real radio station doing real work as part of the course. I have freelanced at some fantastic places and made some really good friends just from being able to turn up and be nice and polite and professional. All of those things is what broadcasting school was really good at versing you in. Being in London, it's a melting pot of creativity and ideas and people. I'm doing stations in Iceland, Germany, America, New Zealand still, which is wonderful. I can't say I expected it to be quite like this, but it's awesome.
Welcome back. It's an Australasian first in the world of fire engineering. A new fire station has been built at Canterbury University, and as reporter Claudia Toxopayas finds out, it's benefiting both students and the community alike.
It's a new station with a difference. Quicker response times, advanced facilities, and in an Australasian first, opportunities for fire engineering students to mix with the pros.
They're going to get to interact firsthand with fire engineers. That all of our fire engineers have actually come through the University of Canterbury, so they've been through that themselves, and they can pass on those learnings.
Many stations were damaged in the 2011 quakes, giving firefighters an opportunity to assess the effectiveness of their locations. And after extensive research, this site on the University of Canterbury was the perfect fit.
With regards to the university, it's an opportunity to cross a driveway to the fire engineering department. So our fire engineers giving that hands-on advice to the new engineers that are coming through.
The station is one of 7 career stations, all a part of the Greater Christchurch Rebuild program. It's about creating a quicker response time for the community and giving learning opportunities to students.
When you come to work in industry as well, it's really important to have that kind of industry knowledge beforehand.
Because we have basically direct access to FENS engineers, and they have direct access to us, it definitely teaches us some skills that we wouldn't otherwise be able to learn.
But education isn't the only benefit. The crew say meeting response times in the Riccarton community has always been a challenge, but they're confident the new station will change this.
For the community around here, it means that we're going to get to them a lot quicker than what we did previously, and certainly into the areas where we weren't meeting our response times.
The future of the station is bright. Riccarton, you're in safe hands. Claudia Toxopayas, Metro News.
If you're looking for a fun, fast and full contact sport, roller derby could be just the thing. Nick Duff checks out the action, not the full-on game, but just those getting started.
Roller derby may not be as brutal as it once was, but it's still an action-packed sport for all to enjoy. Christchurch-based roller derby side, the Otatahi Rollers, run classes to teach people of all ages to skate and play the game.
I think it's mainly about roller skating, is just first getting people on roller skates and then enjoying what roller skating is about, just the flow, just being active, just the cruise and going skating outside. So that's our first aim.
Plenty of parents sign their kids up for skating lessons, and after seeing how much fun the young ones have, they can't resist lacing the skates up themselves.
Well, I bought a pair of roller skates just so I could go skating with my kids because they were into it.
I brought my children along to do a Learn to Skate program and I thought it looked pretty cool, so I thought I'd just jump in and give it a go.
The rules of roller derby are relatively simple. A game is called a bout and consists of 2 30-minute halves. These are broken up into jams of 2 minutes.
Each team consists of 15 skaters, with 5 participating in a jam at one time. One player is the designated jammer, whose goal it is to score the points by passing through the opposing team's blockers.
In the words of the Otatahi Rollers, roller derby is a fast, full-contact sport that some see as an escape from their everyday lives.
Yeah, I think it's a good release from study and kids and all the work and all that sort of thing, yeah.
I also love getting to play a contact sport, which is like my alter ego for my mild-mannered housewife that I normally have.
So if you're looking to add a bit of thrill to your everyday life, lace up some skates and head down to the court. Nick Duff, Metro News.
It's another big night for rugby fans as the Crusaders take on the Western Force. The Canterbury side are the hot favourites to win, needing another victory to bump them into finals contention.
For the dancers among you, some of the country's top competitors are hitting the stage over the weekend in Christchurch. There's plenty to watch, with styles from lyrical to jazz, contemporary and musical theatre. Lucy Bendell takes a look.
Good evening and welcome back to the New Zealand Dance Awards. The atmosphere was up as dancers gathered from across the country.
We've got people from way up north to down south, from Wanaka and even further than that, and it's just been really good to start building this relationship.
The dance competition is held here in Otatahi with 1,400 acts over the 6 days, bringing around 700 competitors to the stage. With dancers competing for the top spot, you get a show with all emotions.
We watch these kids go through all of these emotions of what it takes to be a competitive dancer, and we watch them thrive with their friends and make new friendships and become better performers and dancers.
And the lights are on the dancers as they get ready for their moment on stage.
this year it's been really exciting to see the kids come back with more fire, more determination and passion.
While the judges' heads are down, the dancers are practicing backstage.
When I walk on stage, I'm always a little bit nervous before I go on. I try run my dance side stage, and when I go on stage I'm just like, right, I'm just going to have fun, just do it, really get in my moment, get in the element.
Annabelle's a dancer of 17 years and loves performing.
Just aim to go out there, do my best.
And the nerves are kicking in as they go over their dance for the last time before hitting the stage. But it's not about winning for everyone.
It's not always about the win. If you've got your own goal and your own mindset and what you want to achieve from your opportunity on stage and you manage to achieve that, then that's enough of a win.
A week filled with turns and smiles, the New Zealand Dance Awards have another 3 days to go. Lucy Bendell, Metro News.
And now to the weather. It was a pleasant day here in Ōtuatahi with a high of 14. It's set to be a mild night of 6 degrees. Tomorrow it will be a positively balmy high of 16, just in time for the weekend, so get out and enjoy the sunshine this Saturday. That's all for Metro News for tonight and 2021. For those stories and more, head to our website at metronews.co.nz or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Thanks for joining us this week, and we hope to see you again next year. Call Black Benny aho.
Call Travis Mitchell aho. Ka kite anō.